outstanding young people over here. Believe me when I tell you, it didn't used to be like that over here. It's because of the work of all of you together and their work that we are seeing a huge change in our community. Bowen High School is changing. Manufacturing Renaissance, we've got some people that have been working with that. It's quite a few projects here. Right now, I'm involved with a number of things, but one of the things close to my heart is transportation. You know, we have to connect with one another. Of course, we have the cell phones. That's one way to connect. The other way is transportation. And we have one of the best transportation systems going right through the heart of the southeast side, even touches Cocoa, and that is the Metro system. Metro extends all the way from Stanger, way out in the southwest side, all the way downtown. It traverses the southeast side of Chicago. It goes through Rockland. In fact, there's a station right down the street here. And it connects people who are disconnected in every community. Most of these communities are, they contain people of color. I have to be very sensitive, mostly people of color. And they do not have an opportunity to get to the city quickly. Has anybody here ever ridden the Pace bus from Creek Moline? No, University Park. Anybody? What? No one? I have. Let me tell you, it's quite a ride. If you have a job downtown, it takes 2.5 hours to get to work, unless you ride the Metro. The Metro is fast, it's efficient, it's clean, it's wonderful. But the city has decided, for whatever reason, that the Metro is going to compete with the CTA. And so they make it as difficult as possible for people to transfer to the Metro lines. I wonder why. They're disinvesting in our community. We have a wonderful community over here, but no one knows about it because they were trying to close the stations over here. They were trying to shut down South Chicago line, the branch line. And we fought. We fought them. We won most of the concessions that we have today. We still have stations open. The stations are being improved, they're being modernized. And so what we need now is to continue that process. We need to continue. So what I'm asking you tonight, I think most of you have a card. You have a card on your table. There's 2 cards on each table. We also have a petition over here that Amalia is holding. And if you could sign that petition, we would greatly appreciate it. Now that petition says to Metro and the powers that be, our political officials, the leadership in government, as well as the Metro board, that we want to see some improvements. One of those improvements is direct transfers from the CTA to Metro. That would make it a lot easier, wouldn't it? I have to wait an hour between trains. On Sundays, 2 hours. How about 10 minutes? What's wrong with that? Why can't we get that over here? We don't have an L over here. So we're asking if you agree with that, if you agree with me that we need to make this a world-class transportation system, if you would please sign the petition. Where is it now? Okay, it's right over here. It'll be going around the room. We also have these cards on the table, and you can also go online and sign the petition. Are you with me? Yeah. Woo-hoo!
All right, so there's 2 petitions tonight. So the Metro one is the yellow one. And if you want some more to take back to your organization, if you want some more petitions, there's some more petitions at the sign-in table. But this is really important. It's the closest rapid transit, or it would be if it ran more often. But it's the closest rapid transit to get downtown. So instead of taking an hour to 2 hours, depending on which way you get there, it can take 20 to 30 minutes. So please sign the petition. We know that the Obama Library is coming, and since the Obama Library is coming, they decided that Hyde Park should get 20-minute train transfers. So why can't we?
That's right.
All right? So please sign the petition. Like I said, if you want more to take back to your own organization, they're at the table. The other petition that we have is this white one, and I'll start it going the other way. But this petition is, you guys have heard us talk about CBAs, right? Community Benefits Agreements. And you know that we now have 13 developments going on in various stages throughout the southeast side, right? So what if I told you that because of our work doing CBAs, and a lot of our partners would go and stop on the Obama Library CBA and one north side, in the north side, working on CBAs over there, because of all of our work, there are now 2 proposed city ordinances on housing that support the things that are in our CBA. So instead of trying to negotiate affordable housing with each and every developer and starting at a new place at every single time, this city ordinance would put this stuff at the city level in writing. So some of the things that it asks for is making sure that the affordable housing is on site, that funders can't just pay into a fund and build it elsewhere. That has to be on site, and it has to be integrated in. It also raises the amount of affordable housing to 30% of 30% of the units in the development have to be affordable, which is something we have in our CBA. All right. It also redefines what affordable is so that it's actually affordable to our folks. Because one of the things that we were doing when we were working on the Southwark site is we kept saying, well, you keep saying that you're going to do affordable housing, but it's not affordable to our folks. They were saying that affordable was $75,000 for a family of 4 to own and $50,000 for a family of 4 to rent. Okay? We need affordable housing, real affordable housing, so that we can move into some of these developments, and these developments are actually integrated. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. So if you support it, please sign the ordinance. There's actually 2 ordinances. One's called Developments for All, which is the one I've been talking about. There's also Housing for All, which is CHA related, but also making sure that there is real affordable housing, but within the CHA context. Juans, is there anything else to add?
That's good.
Okay, so there's 2 petitions going around. Again, we do have extra copies if you do want to take some back to your organizations, because these are really, really important issues. Transportation, so we can get around to have fun and for jobs, and then housing, so that we can live here. So those are the 2 things, and then don't forget about the green cards about getting involved. So with all this being said, with everything that's going on in our community, we need to come together as one. We have more power in numbers, right? When we meet with decision makers, whether it's a developer for Southworks or North Point, or it's our public officials, we have more power when we can say that our community supports these priorities, and that you have invested in the organization, and that all of us are working together. So tonight, I am asking you to invest in our community. Many of you already have, and I thank you very, very much. Actually, I think all the speakers tonight have all invested. But I'm asking you to invest in our community. I'm asking you to invest in building power and creating positive community change in our neighborhoods. So I urge you to become members of ASE, and there's more information at the sign-in tables if you're interested in becoming a member. So we're almost done with our program. This is actually the best part of the program, because we get to recognize folks who have contributed a lot to not only our organization, but also the community. So I would like to invite Danielle Richards to come up to present the first 2 awards.
Okay, so the first award of the night is going to be the Freedom Fighter Award. So the Freedom Fighter Award is given to a person who is involved in one or more of our campaigns and has stepped up as a leader in some type of position. Last year, I was the recipient of the Freedom Fighter Award, so it's great that I have the privilege and the honor of introducing this year's awardee, which is Anna Johnson. Spiel, so let me do the correct spiel first. So first, ASE recognizes Anna Johnson as a freedom fighter for her unwavering commitment and involvement in the community. Anna has been an active member in our Coalition for a Softer CBA and was a member of the Coalition's Jobs Pipeline Committee from the beginning and is active as a parent at Bowen. As a coalition member and local resident, Anna has been involved in discussions and numerous developments on the Southeast side, including Southworks, efforts to ban the landfill in the 10th Ward, and meetings with General Iron and North Point. She fights for environmental justice on the Southeast side. In 2014, Anna began working to improve air quality in her community. She joined the fight against Agrifine Corporation for exceeding legal limits of sulfur dioxide and hydrogen sulfide emissions. Anna is now a community representative from Jeffrey Manor, South Deering. Anna also brought attention to the ARRO Corp for emitting a high-pitched, annoying sound in the community. So that's that part of Anna. So I get to say the part of Anna that I like. So Anna Johnson, wow, it's like I've known you a year and a half, maybe 2. But it's been a pleasure to see you grow into what you've become. I know you're kind of shy, you don't like to be in the forefront. We're getting you up there a little bit more, but I could not give this award to anyone more deserving. She is amazing, she's everywhere, so how y'all see me everywhere, you're gonna start seeing Anna everywhere. She recruited me for Bowman High School LSC. Principal Horton won't let me leave. Just continue to support her and everything that she's doing in the community. So we want to give the Freedom Fighter Award to Anna Johnson. Say words. Yep, say words.
I'd like to say thank you to ASE and all of my fellow activists. We have a long fight, and we need to work together. We also need to reach our children and bring them up, because there are a lot of us, well, not me, not yet, but there are a lot who are starting to get up in age and can no longer commit to the strong, a strong fight. So we need to teach our children how to pick up the Gala, pick up the sword, get out, and follow in our footsteps. Thank you. I appreciate this. I love you all.
Okay, so it should be no surprise that I'm going to do the second award. So this year, I say, get your music ready, because you know it's you.
You know I'm getting ready, right?
Yeah, I already know. So this year, I say introduced a new award entitled the Golden Heart Award. It was created to recognize people who may not have been in a leadership position or speaking role, but are still vital to our community and our campaigns. So this year, our first awardee is none other than Julia Hunter, the camera lady. So I'm actually going to forget like everything that's on this paper, because if you don't know Julia, I don't know what to tell you. So Julia is one of my dearest friends. You usually see us together somewhere. But she's also known as the camera lady. It's the camera. She's getting the award and she's still here working. Amazing. South Chicago loves you too. But basically, Julia is getting this award for her support, determination, in documenting community events and residents' efforts to improve our communities and lending a helping hand. She is always seen with the camera in her hand, making sure our story gets told. Julia's public relations, presence, and dissemination of information is an invaluable resource to the community. Julia is also a great source. can't read my shit. Okay, Julia has documented and supported many of our community events, including meetings with the Coalition for a Sophomore CPA, Concerned Citizens to Save South Chicago YMCA. She's actually one of the original members. The Back to School event at Investment Park, and many more. Julia is also the treasurer for the Investment Park Advisory Council. She's a Southside resident. She's been there for more than 30 years and has raised one son in Orlando. And her mom is here. And her friend Charmin is here. She graduated from Jane Addams College of Social Work at the University of Illinois, and she is currently, she's currently a board member for Investment Park and supports the Southeast Side Jobs Collaborative. Julia's goal is to have Work Together for Peace leave a lasting impact on both the community and city's future. So everyone, please give a big round of applause, stand up, get on your feet. Get on with your music. Bring the music. So our first ever golden card goes to Julia Hunter.
You can have the picture.
Oh, Brad was taking a picture.
Wait, Mr. Bradford, come back.
Okay, I actually got a speech, but I don't have time to break it out right now. So, okay. But I really, first of all, I want to say thanks to my Heavenly Father, first of all. My family, my mom who's here, my son who's not here, but I want to give thanks to my best friend, Charmin, and my community friends, and Danielle, and everybody. I want to give thanks to that, first of all. That's important to me. I guess I'm going to have to shout. Okay. But who I really want to set an award is, every time I get an award, I really feel like it's really you guys' award. No, you can't take it home. But it is really the community. I want to say, I come around and take pictures of you guys, really. And it's just to highlight everything that you do out here. You do so many wonderful things. I know you don't feel like you need to be recognized, but you do need to be recognized. And I want to recognize my community, and that's what Work Together for Peace is about. It's highlighting all the wonderful resources that ASE do, our Alderman does, Southeast Task Force, Environment, all you different organizations. So I'm hoping that's what we're doing when it comes to Work Together for Peace, that's showing all the wonderful things you guys did. So really it's the community award, because I'm just taking pictures of you guys. That's it. So thank you so much.
Julia has just said that she doesn't think that she should be recognized because the community needs to be recognized, and this is exactly why Julia has the Golden Heart Award. I just want to see a show of hands. How many people have seen this woman at your event taking pictures, making sure that everybody knows what is going on? Because you deserve it. Not the embarrassment part, but the recognition.
Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Can we just give her one more round? Julia is one of our great unsung heroes, and so we just wanted to make sure she was recognized. So. All right, so our last award for the evening is the Community Power Award, and it goes to the Jeffrey Manor Community Revitalization Council. So if the Jeffrey Manor folks can come on up, be recognized. So the Community Power Award goes to a group or organization that has really stepped up and has really been involved in the leadership. And Jeffrey Manor has really stepped up in a big way. Jeffrey Manor Community Revitalization Council has only been a member of ASE for a year, yet everywhere I turned this year, no matter what the campaign was, there are members there. And it didn't matter if it was on Southworks or North Point and going to TIF hearings, or trying to save the YMCA and the programming and making sure that it stayed in the area, or let's see, what else? Banning the landfill and going to a press conference and delivering, 8,500 petitions to the mayor and Senators Durbin and Duckworth. Every time we had something, the Jeffrey Manor Community Revitalization Council was there. So we wanted to recognize your efforts and your involvement in the community, and so that's why we are presenting you with the Community Power Award.
Can I get a picture with you guys?
Please.
Why don't all the awardees come up? Awardees, Julia. You too, Julia. Daniel, take a picture.
Did you get one of me with Jeff?
Yeah.
You got it? Yep. All right. Oh, maybe. Everybody okay over there? Okay, got it.
All right, so thank you, everybody. These are our awardees, so if we could give them all one more round of applause for all the work that they've done. All right, so we're going to hear a little bit from Alderwoman Garza, but before we do, because right after she finishes, we are going to wrap up and we're going to do the raffles. So if you want to get tickets, now's the time to finish doing that. It is our fundraiser. All your funds go to good causes, including our youth council. You've seen our awardees and know the campaigns we're working on. So you can get tickets at the sign-in table. 1 ticket is $3, 3 tickets is $5, and 10 tickets is $10. So the more you buy, the less it is. And there's also Bulls tickets. It's Bulls versus Cavs in January. And it's not only 2 tickets, it's also hot dog, chips, and so forth. All right, Alderman Garza.
Thank you, Amalia. I just want to say thank you for everyone that's out here tonight to support this organization. Thank you for inviting me, actually. I met Amalia about 7 years ago, 6 years ago maybe, when I was still a counselor at Jane Addams, when she was working on the Lakeside CBA. B. Lumpkin, I think, introduced us. So for those of you that know the mighty B. Lumpkin, 100 years old and still out there fighting. So I'm really proud of what Amalia and Alliance of the Southeast has built. She has given people the power to stand up, and she just doesn't teach them, to cook a fish. She teaches them to fish, so that it's sustainable. So I'm proud of the people that you work with, and the people the men and women that you have taught to have a voice here, because for a really long time we've never had a voice.
Yes.
Never had a voice, and now we have a voice. So thank you very much for all you do. So, and thank you everybody else. So, thank you.
All right, so that concludes our program. There's going to be maybe about 2 more minutes if folks want to do final raffle, and then we will announce the winner in, like I said, 2 more minutes. And so we'll announce all the winners for all the raffles as well as the Bulls tickets. Would one of the YLC members be able to come up and help me do the raffle, please?